I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I'm 37?
I'll have what she's having.
Well done! Well done!
Hello, guys. Welcome to the Film Store Basement, your podcast about cinema and film and movies. With you, I'm your host Bruno, and we have the beautiful.
Not really that, but I'm Michaela. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Yay, we are your hosts for the day. I mean, for every episode, actually, not only this one. But you know, hi, if you're new, welcome. Hope you enjoy this. And if you are not new, then welcome back. What's up?
So, if you're new to this is a film podcast, where we discuss films and stuff. And the twist around this is we are from different generations. I'm much older. Mia is much younger, and this is actually it's very good that I actually speak about this, because the film that we're talking about today, it actually shows this. I think it will, in our discussion, show how different we
Does
are.
it?
Oh, I think so.
I mean, okay. Yeah, it is a nice thing that we are from different generations, because we end up having different views based on our, like, not only education, but also, I mean, you are pretty modern considering everything. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
no, you are. You think you are very progressive, actually.
I'm from the last century. I'm from the past century, but I'm very modern.
Okay, you're not like 80, but I mean, if we are talking about different generations, I think it is well to consider that we sometimes think the same, at least in social and some political issues. So we're not that different. But I do feel like our life experiences vary, of course, and they make us see some movies differently. And that's also one of the great things about doing this experience of like commenting on movies based on different points of views.
Yes.
Generational points of views. But yeah, I feel like this concept would have been like even more fun if I was like, I don't know, 18 and you were like 80, you see.
No, that would be weird.
Yeah, that would be,
That
I
would
guess
be
that would be,
just
I don't,
weird, yeah.
Yeah, that would be weird. I
That
don't
would be
know
like
what.
a Hugh Hefner kind of situation, like Hugh Hefner doing a podcast, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what someone with 18 years old with and another with 80 have in common, but
Yeah.
they would probably disagree a lot.
Oh, yes.
It probably wouldn't be fun anyway, but we are fun, and we are
We are
not
fun.
that. We are not that like far away in
Different,
age.
yeah.
No, it's
we're
fine.
not,
It's
we're not,
fine.
we're not.
So, but still, great concept. Okay, so stick around.
Yes.
And for this episode, I might say, Bruno chose the movie that we are going to comment, and that movie is Am I Okay?
Yes, Am I Okay?
From 2022, which is pretty much it's a new movie. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but you only reached the public in 2024. Yeah, it was only released in 2024 by HBO. It was actually done in 2021. 2022, we went to Sundance Festival, where HBO bought the film, but only released the film in 2024.
Wow, look at you doing your research.
I did my research.
Yeah, you did. But I mean, of course you did.
I'm a modern man.
Anyway, yeah. It's a very new movie because I only saw it on streaming like recently.
Yeah,
and
it's only available on streaming.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna watch it. And then I read the synopsis, and I thought it was boring, so I didn't watch it. But then you said, let's do this for the next episode. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'll do it. I'll watch the movie. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe the synopsis was just really bad written. So,
He actually holds up a really cool on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. Actually, has a high note.
I was actually going to say that. Then I watched the movie and I still thought it was boring. So.
Are you kidding? You would probably, yeah. You kind of probably,
Yeah,
because
I
it's
but we'll
like a,
talk about it
yeah.
later, yeah.
So why this film? First
Yeah,
of
why
all,
did you choose this film?
oh, first
Like,
of all, I'm a
what's up?
huge fan since I was your age. I'm a huge fan of Tig Notaro. Do you know who Tig Notaro is?
I have no idea who
Ah, okay,
Taro is. I'm so sorry. Tell me more about him or her.
her.
Her. Oh my
Is
God,
that,
her.
no, 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 it's good. It's good, very good, because Tig Notaro, she's a comedian, a female comedian, but she
Stand-up comedian, yeah.
yeah, but she owns the fact and introduces into her comedy the fact that she gets confused with a man several times because she's very manlish.
Pictures of her, and she does look like a woman to me, like a more masculine woman, but I still will recognize her as like I see like a woman in her, but like the name, I was just like, I don't know this name.
Yeah, but if you go
Um,
back when she
Very
started doing comedy,
genderless.
like late 90s, early O's,
Okay, so she was
she
okay,
was
okay.
very
Mm.
androgynous. I never know how to say this word, but
Yeah,
and
you are right. I'm seeing pictures of it. Yeah, you
yeah,
are correct.
I have always been like a fanboy of androgynous people.
Oh yeah, there's a kind of like beauty in it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
I've yeah, you are totally correct.
yeah,
I've always felt some type of way of a man who is a bit androgynous. I've
yeah,
always
or
like there's
even a woman
something.
who's a bit
No, a
androgynous,
woman
like
as well. Like
yeah.
I was just I don't know. There's something about
Because
it.
androgynous people always felt like like breaking the rules, like they were breaking the rules that we were taught. Artists like Brian Molko from Placebo, or Michael Stipe from REM, Tig Notaro, and I always love Tig Notaro because of this. One of her first comedy shows was actually called something like A Boyish Woman, something like that. I'm a boyish woman. It was something like that.
Mm.
It's amazing. Like her comedy is really amazing. She does like this deadpan comedy, like a comedy without feelings, without emotions. And
Okay, okay. I'm thinking about the movie, the Am I Okay movie because it's a comedy. I was like
yeah.
thinking, how did I felt about this comedy? But now you are explaining her type of comedy. I don't think it was dry at
No,
all,
he
like
wasn't. He wasn't. I'm just
in the
explaining
movie.
where she comes from. She's
Yeah.
actually in the film. She's that shaman lady in that
Wow.
scene.
Oh my God, yes, she is.
She's in the film.
You
Yeah.
are
She has
correct.
this long
With that
wig, but
awful wig. That wig
yeah.
was really bad. Like I was like, come on, you could have tried a little bit harder or not. It was
No,
on
no,
purpose.
that's the
Maybe it was
comedy
on
side of it, isn't
yeah, maybe it was on purpose. I
it?
thought that scene was it was
Yeah.
super funny. Like
Yeah.
now close your eyes. Now it's
Yeah.
time to close your eyes. Now it's time to close our eyes. Yeah, then close our eyes. I thought it was really funny
Yeah.
the whole segment of that camp
Yeah.
where they were in that womb type of
Yeah, it was really
thing.
weird because they were like in hammocks and they're suspended in
You are
hammocks
correct.
and
That is her.
yeah, that's Tig
Oh,
Notaro.
okay.
But if you don't know Tig Notaro, please search her on YouTube, watch her comedy because she's really, really funny. Tig Notaro is older than me. She's like in her 60s something. And she's doing like this comedy that's about this different generation. It's like one of the things that came to my mind was like this film almost felt like watching a documentary about something weird, which is your generation. Not weird in the wrong sense, but but like let me learn more about this new generation. I was thinking about how is she reacting to this film because it's
You
very
were thinking
normal.
about how I was reacting
Yeah,
to the
because I was like,
movie.
how would she react to this film? Because it's like when you grew up with something, like you grew up in the middle of something and you grew up with something and you grew up watching certain stuff, you be like, yeah, whatever. Like I would say like watching like films like The Godfather or for your generation stuff would be like, wow, look at this. But
Yeah,
as
no,
I
The Godfather is top tier. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
Like,
know, but for me, the film is just like it's another film. I know it's a great film, it's a masterpiece, but it's like because I grew up watching the news about the mafia and about the killings and about it kind of normalizes the situation. So when you're watching, it's like that. Like Godfather is an awesome film, but it doesn't add anything. It doesn't bring anything to the table because I grew up with watching. I didn't grow up in that environment, but I grew up watching those news and all
Well,
everything that
I
was
mean,
happening.
you can also like argue The Godfather, taking the plot away from it is still a cinematic masterpiece in a
Yeah,
lot of
sure,
ways, you know,
sure,
in the
sure, sure.
construction of the movie, like something that this movie just doesn't really do that way either. Like
No,
it's
it
just
doesn't. But I think this movie suffers, like in production-wise, production values, suffers from the
yeah,
COVID pandemic because it's a
true.
film being done during COVID and they had to shut down production several times because of someone having COVID. So
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of
it
when
complicates things for
complicates things
sure.
when things have to be done really, really quick. You don't have like 50 takes to get it right. You have like two, three takes at the most because it's a low budget production, so you need to
Yeah,
keep
I felt
moving.
that. I
Yeah,
felt like it was a low budget production. I felt like the sets were very simple.
yeah,
Like almost, we know they were in a city, but we don't really see the city.
yeah,
You know, we just see some spaces.
yeah.
I don't know. Like I can feel the low production on
Oh
it.
yeah,
But that didn't bother me as much, honestly. But anyway, let's go through the plot and let's talk through it, okay? So, am I okay? Love the title. Am I
yeah.
okay? Like, I love the title. Am I? I don't know. Are we like? I don't think we are, but we try. And I love the poster. I gotta say, like the title, the movie title with the movie poster is really
Yeah,
funny. It's like she breaking down, crying, the
yeah,
main character, which is played by Dakota Johnson. You have in bold letters on top of her head, "Am I okay?"
yeah.
And clearly she's not. Because why would she? Why would anyone be okay nowadays? But yeah. By reading the movie title, I got the impression that this will have some comedy and probably will deal with some contemporary stuff, but also like first world problems, you know, like in
Yeah,
terms of this might be like a city girl dealing with some job or identity problems, you know, it's gonna be in that realm. Like I don't think this girl is like, am I okay? Because she's in the middle of a war and does not have means to feed her little sister, you see.
no, you
Like I
won't.
don't think that's the premise of the movie just by looking at the movie poster and the title. But I was intrigued, you see. So yeah, our movie follows the main character named
Lucy.
Lucy. She's a young girl, she's 32, and she has a best friend. Her name is Jane, you know? And they are those types of best friends who joke a lot. Are they childhood friends? Like, did you get that? Because I don't know if they are.
I got the idea that they met probably during the college years kind of thing, but not childhood friends.
Okay, so like they have been friends for a long time. They are like really close to each other, almost like sisters, you see. Yeah, they do yoga together.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You know, Jane has a boyfriend and Lucy has no one. You know what? You have to like bang someone. You have to
Yeah.
have sex with this guy that you are really good friends with and goes and repairs stuff in your house and you have dinner with him. So you might as well just also bang him.
Yeah.
And Lucy's like, "No, I don't want it."
Yeah.
But they don't get it. Like they don't get, okay, you don't want it, but you have to. You have to
Yeah.
like have some fun in your life. And Lucy's like, no, I don't want it. So this is how the movie starts, like with this
Yeah.
thing about Lucy being just a really, like being a bit weird about it, like not wanting to get in with this friend of hers. So yeah, that's how the movie starts with this like type of thing about Lucy not wanting to just fuck around, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, but it's like because they're like in the early 30s, single and stuff. She's single, but like Jane's boyfriend, Danny, is very modern also.
They are a very modern couple. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at them
Um,
and that's what I imagine the couples from the most touristy central with bars area of the city look
yeah.
like.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's like what I think it looks like just a bunch of indie people having fun in their 30s.
Yeah. But he's very, I don't know,
What do you think of
queer.
him?
I think
Ah,
he's a bit queer, isn't he?
well,
Um,
we don't really delve much in
they,
his character.
yeah,
He's
but
very much like a side character at
yeah,
all.
but
We don't know much of him. But
the way he
he's
carries
also
himself is very.
yes, you might say so. I mean, I don't like to assume that just because that's like I think that's a stereotype,
Oh
honestly.
yeah, sure, but
I think he could be straight and like have those mannerisms or
yeah,
just be a bit more feminine. I think men are allowed to be feminine without being targeted as queer, but he's not really an important character for us.
no,
He's a fun guy. I mean, we see that he's actually someone who's funny and gets along with them. Because this
yeah,
story actually follows these two friends. Although
yeah.
Lucy is the main character, it follows a lot of Jane as well.
It's told from the female perspective a lot. Like it comes to a point where I'm not sure the other characters around them, are they like that, or are they just representations of what they see them be? The film follows Lucy and Jane, and Lucy doesn't want to bang Ben. It's just a friend, and Ben is like is not very active in the pursuit. I never saw like just because he goes there and he nails something to the wall so that she could put a but it's like he's never very
Yeah.
active in that
Me,
pursuit.
man,
Yeah, I
do
mean, yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You, woman,
Yeah.
serve sex to me
It's
because
like,
me,
but he's a
man, do
very, let's
job.
say, like
Like,
a safe
uh,
man, isn't he? He's a safe man. It's
like
like,
actually, Ben is also pretty much also has a lot of stereotypes like Danny. I
yeah, I
mean,
know, but that's why I'm saying everyone around them too follows into these specific stereotypes. And I was on seeing the film, I was like, are these really characters? Like, are we supposed to see them as like characters, like persons, or are just they representations of what they see?
it's a good question, and I think there is a part of what you're saying that is correct. I didn't thought about it because I honestly just thought these are side characters, and honestly, um, men are also allowed to just not be super like manly. Okay, so
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
mind a movie like this just portraying men as having like higher voices or just mannerisms when they speak or how they walk or even how they dress. Like I really didn't pay much attention to that. But what you're saying just might be food for thought, I
Yeah,
guess. It might be something interesting to think that I don't know if it was intentionally done, but it's a theory and I can see it being like that. Yeah, so Lucy doesn't really want to sleep around,
yeah,
right? And Lucy is very predictable. That's another thing that it's
yeah.
important to know about her. Lucy always gets the veggie burger with the sweet potato fries, which honestly sounds amazing, sounds really
Yeah.
good. But also like change it a bit, like try another thing if you haven't, like, and maybe but maybe that's the only option that she likes in on the menu. Like that's also valid, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's very predictable. She's someone who doesn't really like change and it's a bit adamant about like doing something different, which I get it. Not every personality has to be like their friend Cat, who is
Yeah.
just very hyperactive, I feel like. Uh, but we'll get to Cat, I guess. So we change to Jane, and Jane works in a, what is that, a marketing
Marketing.
company?
It's a marketing
Yeah.
company. Yeah.
And she gets like a promotion type of offer where she will have to move to London for a new like
Office.
office that's gonna open there for a campaign, and the director asked her to move there and just to manage that campaign. And since she's from London originally, it just felt like a good fit. And
Yeah.
Jane was like, "Oh my God, yeah." So she's like, "I'm gonna think about it," but she's really excited and probably gonna say yes. So just she contacts Lucy and says, "I need to talk to you, so let's grab drinks later tonight."
Yeah.
So they're drinking tequila at the bar, and Jane tells Lucy, "Yeah, so I received this job offer and I'm going to London." Um, and Lucy is like, "Oh, that is awesome. Awesome. Awesome." So she just says
Yeah.
awesome a bunch of times, you
Yeah.
see, and you can see that she's a bit like taken aback,
Yeah.
what? But she tries to be positive and like excited for her because actually what are you gonna do? Like of course you're
Yeah.
gonna be a bit like you're moving, like why are you moving? Like we are besties and we have for better or for worse, like it's not only about like when you have a relationship, a romantic relationship with someone and you move, that's the only relationship that's gonna be like jeopardized, you
Yeah.
know, either if the person moves with you or not, but like your friendships as well.
Yeah.
Like especially when you spend so much time on a daily basis with that person, your
Yeah.
best friend. Moving, yeah, they say, "Oh, we'll FaceTime." It's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
"No, you're
Yeah.
not." "Oh, you'll come visit." Yeah, I don't have money for that. That doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. It's a change. And although people want to be positive about it and like, "We're not gonna lose contact." Yes, you will. Like, that's just it's gonna happen. Be realistic about it. But yeah, Lucy tries her best to just feel like supportive and just, yeah, that's awesome, amazing. When you're going, and no, I'm awesome. I am okay. And then just cuts to her peeing and just crying, like
Yeah.
crying a lot.
Oh yeah,
And
that
they,
scene, yeah.
yeah, and they start talking about the way they wipe.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they wipe from to back or back to front and how many times they tap. And I'm like, oh God, what is this conversation? No, I mean, they're drunk, I guess. I get
Yeah.
it. But what?
If you ever had like a friendship like this that breaks up because life happens.
Of course, I feel like
Yeah.
that happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Is it sad? It kind of is, but at the same time, it's just if things were meant to go this way, they are. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fine. Sometimes it's just going to another college than the college that, just something simple as we go to different schools.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like we get different jobs and move away. Sometimes it happens in the same city. You just kind of, your pathways just don't align as much, and that's fine. But yeah, they're not broken up yet. Like their friendship
Mm.
is still very much intact because they're talking about how they wipe
Yeah.
drunk in the bathroom. But here's the thing, okay? Now things get serious,
Yeah.
okay? Because at this bar, they're drinking and they start talking about making out with girls. And Lucy says, I wouldn't mind making out with, and you thought I was going to say Jane now. Yes, you did. You did. You
Yeah,
did. You
yeah.
did.
Everyone
Yes,
did.
yes, yes. Yes, everyone did. But no, 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 no.
But I think that would be very, very simple and very normal. Their friendship is really deep, but there's a romantic element in their friendship.
Yeah, there's something very intimate about
Yeah.
their friendship for sure. But now she says I wouldn't mind making out with Brittany, who is a
Yeah.
girl a masseuse that started to work in the spa where Lucy works as a front desk
Yeah,
girl.
front desk receptionist
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's kind of cute, and Lucy's like, I wouldn't mind making out with her, but they're drunk, so like, what do we know? Like, you say a lot of things when you're drunk. It's
Yeah.
fun. But later they do a sleepover, both
Mm.
of them, and they're laying in bed. And Lucy starts crying. Like she
She
starts
cries a
crying
lot.
again. Yeah, she cries a lot, but actually she just cries a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, she cries a lot, and Jen is like, "What's happening? What's up?" And Lucy just turns around and is like, "You know when I said that I would kiss Brittany? Like I really would." And Jen is like, "I didn't think you were lying about it." And Lucy's like, "No, like I really, really would.
Yeah.
For real." And Jen is like putting the pieces together and it's like, "Oh, yeah." So here's the plot. Lucy likes girls. Dun dun dun. And honestly, I was like, okay, that's just a very basic plot, I guess. I mean,
Well, yeah, but imagine like for my
so how are you
generation,
going to actually develop this plot into something interesting? Because just saying that she's gay is nothing like, I don't know. It's
that's the thing about the generations that we were talking in the beginning. It's like this doesn't bring anything new. This is something normal and everything. But like for my generation, this wasn't normal. This wasn't like something that you would deal with.
Okay, but you have a very big
Yeah, I
knowledge
know. Yeah, I
of
know. But
movie.
imagine,
Uh,
like the first time that homosexuality was done in forefront of a film was like in 1994 with Chasing Amy by Kevin Smith. I thought that it was really well done, the scene, because she doesn't say it or anything, and it's like you just said that she says something like, "No, I really, really, I would do, I would
yeah,
really,
but I
really
mean,
do."
she doesn't say it because she herself doesn't
Is not
really
sure with it.
she doesn't come to terms with it yet. She's like, I think, but this is very confusing to me, so like I
Yeah.
can't even I can't even verbally say it out loud that I feel like attracted to women. So
Yeah.
it's like okay, which makes sense, and she has a friend that actually gets it.
Yeah. Like
Like in a second.
the first time a friend came out to me, he didn't also said it was like it was funny his strategy the way he did it. We were doing theater together and everything, and we were discussing something for a play in his house, and he turns around to me and he said like, "Oh, I've been watching these pictures on the internet. I find that I really, really like them. I really like to see these pictures." And I was like, what pictures are you talking about?" And it was actually gay porn pictures, because
Okay,
this was
well,
in the beginnings.
what?
This was in the beginnings of the internet. There was no video, so everything was done in pictures. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
What year was that?
This was like 1997, no, 1999 or 2000 kind
Okay,
of thing.
okay. Well, I get it. I guess nowadays, well, I understand that maybe saying out loud just simply, you know what, this is my sexuality. I
Yeah,
feel attracted to people from the same sex. It's like it might be much easier to say it now, even for like a friend, than it was like
yeah,
20 years ago, which is
yeah,
pretty recent, honestly. I
yeah.
mean, I get it. I get it. But I think the way she said it, as in, I really, really would kiss that girl.
Yeah.
Um, it was like it was fine. I understood why she didn't say it because also it just goes with her personality. Of course, she wouldn't just say it. But that's not the point here. That's not the point, because I feel like the main point afterwards is how both of them deal with
Yeah.
this. You know, because Jane is like, you know what, we're gonna find you a girlfriend
Yeah.
before I leave. And Lucy's like, okay, but how are we gonna do that? Because I am actually just a very antisocial person,
Yeah.
and me, myself, is not really that comfortable even admitting this side of me. Like, I felt like this for a while, but I don't even know how to really connect with this side of me or how to even just make this my identity. Which I think that's the first step. I mean, if you don't come to terms with it and if you feel insecure about it, if you're not sure about it, if you're still delving into am I like this? As in, you're not something different, but you are made feel different by society. And if you still have some sort of like prejudice against it, that you yourself cannot really come to terms with it, of course, that's the first step, is you actually feeling comfortable with that side of your identity. And Jane is pretty much more comfortable with that side of her identity than Lucy. But that's not the point. We don't I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't really give a shit if Jane feels comfortable with her best friend being gay or not. That's not like it doesn't matter if you feel comfortable with it or not. Like make sure your friend feels comfortable with that side
Yeah,
of
sure,
her
cool.
because clearly she doesn't. She's a lost girl, like poor thing. Very annoying character, both of them. But yeah, like I'm sorry, I really didn't like their personalities. I thought they had really bad style, first of all. Like, I don't know who chose the wardrobe, but I think the style was awful. I don't think their jokes were funny. I didn't like the activities they did together. Like, I'm sorry, doing yoga with someone is boring as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, do yoga alone, okay? It's time for yourself. And
Yeah.
I hate when people like do yoga and talk.
Yeah.
Like they're doing they're doing the downwards dog position or
Yeah.
whatever. And they're like talking to each. This happens a lot in White Lotus as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you're watching the new season, but like this happens as well. I'm like, stop talking. It's yoga. It's not for that. It's not a socialized moment, okay? It's a moment to connect with yourself, for
Yeah.
God's sake. Yeah, I guess I'm just like annoyed by that beanie that Dakota Johnson wears in the
Yeah.
movie. That black beanie. It just looks awful on her. That beanie is a crime. I'm sorry. I don't, I cannot stand it. And I cannot stand the whiny personality of Lucy because she's a whiner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is.
Totally valid you to feel insecure in this phase of your life where you're just 32 and you're still trying to figure yourself out, which is totally valid. But like, stop whine about it. I don't know, her personality. I don't like the personalities, the
Yeah.
character's personality. And I also don't like Jane. I think she's too much of like a I'm gonna fix you type of person.
She's like a pushover. It's like she almost comes up as a bully kind of thing.
A bit, a bit.
Yeah.
So what happens is Jane tries to get Lucy out of her comfort zone,
Yeah.
trying to see, okay, so maybe this Brittany girl that works at the spa is interested in Lucy because she touches her a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so people are not allowed to like be into physical touch and just touch without it being like a sort of sign of interest.
Yeah.
I don't know. That also annoyed me, but I get it. A lot of people think that. A
Yeah.
lot of people think that way. I understand. I don't think that way. So therefore, when I see people just assuming that someone is interested in them just because they hug or touch or whatever, it's like, come on. Come on. Come on. Are you that desperate? Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, and then Jane decides to bring Lucy to a lesbian bar. I don't
Called the
know.
Womb. I thought that was
I
funny.
love the yeah, I love the name of the bar.
Yeah, it's a
So
bar. It's an outdoors bar, kind
yeah,
of
it's
like.
kind of a rooftop kind of thing, isn't it? I
Yeah,
got that
kind of,
idea,
kind
yeah.
of. I thought I was like that bar doesn't work during winter.
Yeah.
Like, do you have an indoor space? Like, what's
Yeah.
up? Like, are lesbians only allowed to hang out during summer? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that's fair. I think that's homophobic. But yeah,
Yeah.
like what they because it's like no, you cannot be closeted anymore. You have to be. I'm sorry, I did
You have
not
to be
say
in the
this.
open.
You have to be in the open, so our bar is on the rooftop. No more being closed,
Yeah.
okay? Just come to terms with your sexuality in the open. Yeah,
But I
I
thought
think
that scene
that's
was really like Jane coming out like really this big bully because Lucy is socially awkward and she doesn't really like
yeah,
the social
yeah.
events and everything and Jenny's like no come in and Jenny's like that's her world like bars and hanging out with people and she's like really good
But do you
and
think it
really
was
nice with it.
okay? Do you think it was okay for Jane to like take Lucy to a bar?
The way they show it in the film, I would say no. If it's like a real life situation and someone is like, okay, that's cool. You that's your sexuality. You're socially awkward. Let's go out. I'll be your wingman kind of thing. But when the wingman becomes the main subject,
No, I was just thinking about that scene in the bar when a girl comes up and
yeah,
she's like asking for a drink or something. And Jane is like, "Oh, hi,
yeah,
I'm Jane and this is Lucy." And the
yeah,
girl is like, "Oh, do you want to come and dance?" to Lucy. And Lucy's like, "No, I have a drink. I want to drink my drink."
yeah,
I thought that was, and I thought that was like such a lost opportunity. Like,
yeah,
girl, like go and dance. Like, just try it, you know?
yeah,
But another point of view, I totally get it why she would say no. It's
yeah,
like she's trying to manage her emotions in being in a place where she's not always. Like she's not
yeah,
a bar disco type of person.
yeah,
So it's like she's in a very hyperactive place, you know,
yeah.
with loud sounds, a lot of people that she doesn't know,
Mhm.
and especially it's a bar, it's a gay bar, so it's like she might meet someone, you know, it's a lot happening.
Yeah,
I get it, so I get why she would be like, no, I don't want to dance. And it was not even her choice. Like Jane just really pushed
yeah,
that into like that invitation, just go. So she doesn't want to, okay, but Jane goes and dances and even makes out with a girl.
yeah. what I thought was like it was really pushing the envelope, like in towards like in the relationship type. It's like when you transfer to the normal life, it's like I understand that Jane is going through a major change, and Jane is like, you should be there for me because I'm going through this major change. And then the Lucy says, I'm also kind of going through a big change. And Jane is like, oh, I'm gonna help you with your change. So that it kind of reflects on the other side, so that the other side is very or helps out with the change. Like because that's a way of saying, I accepted you, why don't you accept me? This is where
Yeah,
the
that's
friendship ends.
yeah. No, it's and I feel like also Lucy got a bit triggered by that
Yeah,
because she doesn't have the confidence to just do it, you know?
yeah,
So it's like Jane does it, Lucy can't, and feels a bit like put in a corner, and her
yeah,
self-esteem also is not really high. She gets mad also because she knows she's not able to do that. It's
yeah,
also, she does get mad at Jane, but she also gets mad at herself, I feel like.
yeah,
So what happens inevitably, it's that they end up fighting,
yeah.
okay? Then they end up having this huge fight. When I was watching the movie, I thought that Lucy was really annoying and I was not on Lucy's side. I hated her answers. I thought she was being I did not like that attitude. Like,
Yeah,
she came to Jane's office for lunch. Jane is, she's very irritable, you know?
yeah,
She's a bit high stress at that moment with work stuff and I don't know. And then Lucy comes in and is just criticizing that girl cat that works there and
yeah,
that's very weird and has a weird personality. And Jane just gets a bit fed up with it and it's like, stop talking shit about her. I'm allowed to have other friends. It's not only all about you. I'm trying to help you. And Lucy's like, I didn't ask for your help, or
yeah,
I
something
don't
like
know,
that.
like
Yeah.
it's like a discussion. It's like they say fuck you a lot, and then they say, well, I wouldn't fuck you, and it's
Yeah.
like, what? I'm like, okay, like, that's. I'm going to admit that I was on Jane's side during the fight.
Yeah.
I didn't really recognize all that bully side that you were explaining when
Yeah.
I was watching the movie. I just kind of realized it later when I was thinking about the plot and
Mm.
how their personalities were in the way that, just how it developed through the plot. But during that fight, I was really annoyed with Lucy. I was
Yeah.
just like, girl, shut up. You don't do anything. But at the same time, I was like Lucy once. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so they have a fight and they don't speak. So they kind of go their separate ways, doing their life a bit. Like Jane is, okay, so I'm leaving for London earlier, you know, and Lucy's like, I am going to have dinner with this girl, Brittany, at my house. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Brittany because, like, what?
Yeah. Brittany was, I think, he was a nice character.
A nice character. I hated her.
He
I
did.
hated her. I hated her. I thought ew. Like I hate people like Brittany. What do you mean? Uh,
Really?
yes. I mean, just first of all, can you read the room?
Yeah.
Like, don't you have any social awareness? Like, don't you read people's physical posture or how tense they are? Or, like, what is happening? You touch people for a living, like you're a
Yeah.
masseuse, right? You are very touchy, very friendly, very this, that. Okay. Like, can't you see that Dakota Johnson is very uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Can't you see that Lucy is very uncomfortable? Like, and very shy, and maybe being so abrupt and being like, okay, I'm going to your house and I'll cook dinner. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
date. This is not the way to behave to someone who has such a shy and socially awkward personality.
Yeah.
But of course, Lucy is like, yeah, okay, sure, let's do this. Fun, yay. And this is all because Brittany also wants to see Lucy's paintings because
Yeah.
Lucy is an artist,
Yes.
okay? She
She
paints,
paints.
but she's not painting now because she hasn't
No.
painted in a long time,
Yeah.
okay? But that's her passion. Ugh, annoying. So,
That's very stereotypical of artists.
it's like, shut up, girl. Like, get it together, okay? One, like, pick a struggle.
Yeah.
The whole point of that dinner was also to see the paintings. I
Yeah.
get that it wasn't like that. It wasn't really, really the intention. I get it. I'm
Yeah.
not dumb. But also, when it was time to see the paintings, like, oh, show me the painting. She just goes there, touches one of the paintings, picks at it, and then she doesn't talk about them anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, and then there's like such a big emphasis on talking about her paintings when we don't see anything. We see like a big painting of blue at the
Yeah.
end, which is nothing interesting to be honest. But Brittany doesn't even see the paintings. She just picks at one and she leaves them there. And she
Yeah.
doesn't go back and she doesn't say anything else. And it's like this big fuss about the painting. I'm like, I feel like this is just, maybe this is just a filmmaking fault. Something here doesn't work, but it's very annoying.
It's
And Brittany's,
okay. That's a
yeah,
very
you can.
different. That's a very interesting point of view because what I thought was like,
That's
yeah, I
not my
know,
my opinion on Britney. This is just something that really annoyed me in the movie.
yeah, I know, but
I'll get to my opinion, but tell me more. Yeah.
no, I was saying sorry to interrupt because that's a very good point because yeah, as you said, the focus was on the paintings. Like the purpose of that was just to get access to her house, to have this kind of date thing, and then on the second date, I think it's on the second date, you have all that. Oh, let's dress on each other's clothes, which is a way of
Seeing
being
her body,
naked, yeah,
yeah.
being naked around
Yeah.
each other. And what I thought is like I didn't saw it like that, as you're saying, like this is a problem with the film. I saw it as like because the paintings is just an excuse. They're not important ever. Like the importance is to be there and to do that romantic kind of let me cook for you, let me take
I
care
know.
of you,
Like that's
let
true. What
me,
you're saying, it's true. But it
yeah,
just annoyed me that they were talking about the
okay,
paintings so much. And then it's like a sneak peek of it and she doesn't
yeah,
touch them anymore. She doesn't see all her works. It's like,
yeah,
girl, if I was in Lucy's shoes, I would have taken that as a red flag and I would have
yeah,
been
of
like
course,
really
yeah,
annoyed with that person.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you talk about my painting, especially because it's something that is very vulnerable for her. She hasn't painted in a long time. Anyway,
But it's a very
and
normal strategy, I would say, when someone is trying to get closer to someone, you show interest.
she lays in her lap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, what? And then they're talking about, have you ever kissed a girl? That
Yeah.
conversation again, like, shut up, man. Kissing a girl is the same as kissing a guy. It's like lips, tongue, saliva. Like, there's nothing different about it.
There
Why
is
do people?
difference. There is a difference.
I
There's a
don't think
song
so.
about it. Katy Perry has a song about it.
No, I'm sorry. Katy Perry
There's no
was
song
no,
I kiss a guy.
no, I'm sorry. Like Katy Perry with her, I'm not gonna go into that. But like, there is not a difference. Like, you're just kissing a person. Come
Yeah.
on. Like, they talk about making out as like having like, I don't know, wild sex. It's and
Yeah.
and it's not, and it's not, and this conversation annoys me a lot because it's like kissing people is the same. Like, maybe if you're kissing a guy who has a lot of facial hair, maybe that's like he'll have like a physical, I don't know, feeling. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a bit different, but like at the core of it, it's the same shit, okay? There's nothing different. I don't know why people are like, oh, have you kissed a girl? Have you felt different about it? No, like what? I don't think that's how you actually explore your sexuality. But you know what? Maybe I'm not the right person to talk about it. I don't think we should like manage people's sexually experience or how comfortable they are with this with their sexuality based on if they make out with the person from the same
Yeah.
sex or not. I think that's very redundant. But yeah, they're talking about it, and it's clear that Brittany wants to have that experience, you
Yeah.
see. But this is where the miscommunication really annoys me
Hmm.
because, because yes, at that try-on party, which is their second date,
Yeah.
which is just uh, like it's just a pretext to get naked, I guess.
Like, do people do this? Have you ever done like something like this?
What, have a
You
try-on party?
yeah.
Have I ever had a try? I don't recall having a try-on party, but I've dressed my friends' clothes. I remember like when I was younger and I would like go on vacation with my friends and we were we would be on the same house and whatever. We would change clothes to go to clubs or something and we
Yeah.
would like try on our clothes and wear something different. That was like just a very girly cutesy thing. It wasn't like, well, it never happened in the context of a girl wanting to get me to bed. So it's
Yeah.
like it was just a very much, girl, try my shorts.
Yeah.
They look so good on you. Like let's just look cute for the club. And especially because we were trying to look older because we were
Yeah.
minors. So it was like, okay. But never in that context. And honestly, having a try-on party with a man is really weird.
When it comes to his time to dress up in her clothes, I think yeah, kind you
Yeah,
would be.
no, like that's the same thing as those dates where it's like, okay, if you lose, you take one piece of your clothing off, and at the
Oh
end of
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
night they're like naked, and it's like, okay, now, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, cliche. But yeah, they end up like making out and one thing leads to another, and they sleep together, right?
Yeah,
And would you not guess that in the morning? Lucy is very much affectionate and wants
yeah.
to like cuddle in the morning and whatnot, and Brittany is like, ew,
Brittany
don't
is a
touch
man.
me. Brittany's a man. Brittany
Yeah.
becomes a man, an heterosexual man.
Yeah. Let
Yeah,
me get out of here.
you are very correct. She just becomes a man. You can even see the disgust in her
Yeah.
face, like when she looks to the side, like,
Yeah.
ew, a
Yeah.
girl. It's like she just puts the hand
Yeah.
away
Oh,
and
that's
and then
heartbreaking.
yeah, and like
That was
stands up
heartbreaking.
and it's like, I'm going to pee.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what this annoys me a lot because she goes to the bathroom, she comes back, she starts getting dressed, and it's like that fucking conversation of like, okay, so I have a lot of errands to go today, but it was really fun
Yeah.
last night. Like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is that? Like, what? We're not talking about we went to a new restaurant and it was really fun last night. We had sex, so it's like
Yeah.
it's just a hookup. That was like a hookup, and
Yeah,
for
it
Lucy, it
was.
wasn't. And here is the thing, because they didn't communicate about it. The only communication they had about this subject was, "Have you ever make out with a girl?"
Yeah.
That's the only thing they talked about it. And this is where things go wrong because for Lucy, this was like, oh, maybe I'm finding a girl. Maybe I can fall for this person. Maybe
Yeah.
like this is her first intimate relationship with a woman, so very big deal for her. She even enjoyed it a lot. So she's exploring her sexuality. Finally, she's having like sexual experience that she feels comfortable and happy with, which is awesome. But then you have like the other side, which is just Brittany. She's not questioning her sexuality. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. She's just like she wants to have that as an experience, as a checklist, as a life experience. Because we all have that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you have you have a life checklist,
Yeah.
where you've done a bunch of stuff. And for a lot of people, you just get involved with people from the same sex, not because you are exploring your sexuality, but because you don't see
Just
any
yeah.
problem with it. Yeah, because you're just doing it.
It,
When I
it
made,
it's a
when
curiosity, isn't it? We call it homo curiosity.
maybe curiosity. I mean, I remember when I made out with girls, it wasn't like a curiosity thing. It was just like, yeah, a mouth, I guess. I'm gonna make out with this person. Like, it's just whatever. But for a lot of people, it's also like, just, I want to do this because I want to say that I did it
Yeah.
and I'm very fluid and I love everybody and I'm very progressive and I don't give a shit if the person that I slept with is actually gay and trying to come to terms with it and I'm actually hurting their feelings
Yeah.
by just thinking about my selfish life experiences checklist.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like that's it for me was this. That's why I hated that girl. I was like, girl, you just broke this poor girl's heart while she's still trying to figure herself out.
Yeah, but she
But
also
also,
did something else, didn't she? She made
what?
Lucy kind of assume her sexuality. She made Lucy own her own sexuality. And after
Also,
that,
that's true.
a broken-hearted Lucy became much more, I would say, confident, yeah. Because
I
then
mean,
she starts dating people and she starts dating women and stuff.
yeah,
And
but that is correct. But I also feel like before that, she has to go through the realization. First of all, the awkward phase of like working with this person.
yes,
Like, I don't care if you feel attracted to them. Do not sleep with people who you
yeah,
work with, because that's really awkward afterwards. There's a lot of fish in the sea.
yeah.
But, she felt attracted to this person, whatever. But Brittany ended up getting back with her ex or
And moving
whatever.
city or state or
Remember, yeah,
whatever.
and that scene was really awful because there is a scene in the end where Brittany just comes in and it's like really nonchalant. And it's like,
Yeah,
so I'm going away and for a couple of months and maybe na 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 na. And Lucy is like, oh, you're telling me this, like maybe she cares about me or I don't
yeah,
know, something like friendship, whatever. And Brittany just turns around, I'm telling you this because you are with the schedules,
yeah.
here at the
You're doing
spa.
this.
You can see the heartbrokenness of Lucy's face. Is like,
Yeah.
and I myself, I was like, girl, this is awful. What?
Yeah.
No way. No. Mm.
But at the same time, there's like the subplot is Jane gets more on with Kat because now she doesn't have Lucy, but she's very different from Lucy because she's like this. I don't know, everyone has these friends that
Come
like
on. She
right
starts
into
screaming at
everything.
that.
Yeah,
She starts screaming at that. I don't know.
ritual
What?
or event,
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Like,
then she goes back to normal. Just puts her frontal camera on and just takes
yeah,
selfies.
yeah, yeah,
Just very weird. That character was very weird. Yeah, it was really annoying. And Jane was starting to get into that. Like she
yeah.
was like, this girl is really annoying. And Jane, the thing is, her boyfriend, Danny, actually is not going to be able to
Oh
go
no,
with her
yes.
to London. So they break up, I
Yeah,
guess.
they break up or they are in a rupture kind of thing. But
Yeah.
there's a scene there which I thought it was really really cool because I don't know if you ever been ever through this, like whenever you do like or have a breakup with someone or even if it's a friend or anything, and all of a sudden it's their birthday.
Yeah, that's awful. I'm like, oh. And when Lucy calls her phone and
Yeah,
she's like whispering, "Don't pick up, don't
don't
pick up,
pick
don't."
up.
I related to that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I relate to that. That actually happens a lot. Like, okay, you had a fight, but probably you're still orbiting around each other. But then there's a birthday. What do you do? Do you say happy birthday? Don't you? You don't say anything. It's
If my pride is really hurt, I won't say anything.
mm.
Um,
I thought that scene was really cool, like to have that because it's a really nice touch of reality in the film. Sometimes this film got to me as I was like, oh, this is nice because it shows or deals with stuff that you don't talk about a lot, like these little awkwardnesses of stuff. What do you do?
Yeah, sometimes when it's my birthday and I think I'm not in good terms with someone, I'm always
Yeah.
like, yo, bitch, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, are you gonna call me? Are you gonna send me a message? Like, if you're not gonna do anything, then you're just giving me a reason to hate you and not be the one to reach first.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a real thing. I like that. I like that. But then
Yeah.
as my life moves on, Lucy, I was like on Team Lucy when she kind of gets hold of herself and she quits the job. And again, Brittany had something to do about her quitting the job. She goes into more into painting and starts using dating apps. And I thought this was brilliant, the use of dating apps on the
Yeah,
film.
she did start using dating apps, and that was good for her. I mean, she felt a bit more confident. She started to change a bit, you know.
Yeah.
She started to take more charge of her life and feel more like, yes, I'm gonna do this. Like I had this experience. It might have not have worked well because Britney sucks.
Yeah.
But I think that I am sure that I like girls and this is my sexuality and I want to explore that further. And I feel more confident doing that now because I've had a sort of experience that validated those feelings, you see? Because that's the good thing. She realized that the experience wasn't really good because they were not compatible. It's like that can
Yeah.
happen with anyone.
Hmm.
That doesn't have anything to do with who you like, or it doesn't. But she could take something from it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this didn't work because me and this person just is not gonna happen, but I can take from this that I actually like girls, and I can now move forward with that instead of being like lost
Yeah.
and confused and not sure and how to deal with it. And she kind of also lost a bit of that shame as
Yeah.
well of being 32 and still trying to figure things out. Yeah, she's now figuring things out more confidently.
Yeah, she
And
changed her
that's
style of clothing and everything. She was presenting
still
herself
awful.
different.
Still bad. I mean, still awful. Yeah. But she did. I mean, and she had some dates that were not cool, but she had a
Yeah.
couple that so we don't really, it doesn't really matter where it goes, but because that's not part of the plot. But that's good for her. She's
Yeah.
exploring different options, different types of personalities, some more compatible to her, some less. So, yeah, the point is she and Jane end up in the same restaurant from the beginning,
Yeah.
and Lucy does not ask for a veggie burger with sweet potato
That
fries.
that was the big change of the film. When I saw that, I was like, I had my heart full. I was like, oh God, now that's how she communicates that she's a new person to her bestie.
It didn't really touch my heart that much.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
did.
okay, girl, you choose something different from the menu. That's like a cliche that a lot of movies did.
Yeah.
But yeah, they talk a bit and they talk like they kind of, and I hated that conversation. Didn't you felt like it was really rushed?
I've been through like breakups in friendships and some come back. And when it's a big friendship, old or big friendship, there's a thing that you kind of feel this need to be with that person and to be like, okay, this happened with me in my life, and like just rush everything to that point and like just start anew. I've
But that's
seen
something that
it.
annoys me a lot because this person or these people, whatever, are very present in your life, and they know about every big thing or even small thing that happens
Yeah,
with you. And it doesn't really matter if it's like you just started a life-changing book or you started dating someone,
yeah,
you know. But like, I hate when you don't speak with someone for a long time, and then when you have to just hang out and talk about everything that happened while you weren't on speaking terms or you haven't been
well,
communicating. It
yeah.
just, I feel like it's such a step back in the friendship of someone that is so present.
Well,
But at the
you
same time, that happens and it's
it does,
okay.
and you need to because you kind of need to rebuild that trust. But at least I'm like this. Like if I had like this big fallout with someone, and I feel that my trust was broken, it takes a long time to heal. But the thing is, like the time of the movie is around 2 months, something like that, because she.
But was their trust that hurt, like
But
that
I think
broken?
no, it was a a pride thing, wasn't it? Like it was more of a pride kind
Yeah,
of
I also
thing.
think that.
But then you can like
The movie's not
heal
that deep,
quick.
I'm sorry.
No, no, it's not. It's not a deep film. It wasn't supposed to. But the thing is, like, what I find awkward is how they end up there. Like, who takes the first step? Because it comes out with them texting messages. The first time they actually text to each other is like on Jane's birthday, happy birthday, and everything. And then it comes this thing that she picks up in the like, I miss you, and and there's that big step of like, okay, let's get together and work this out.
That's Jane. Jane phones her.
Yeah, yeah, and sorry, yeah, Jane, and I found it really cool, and the way you kind of say like you're different, or you say
But
like you're in a
did
different place, or
but did she apologize? Did Lucy apologize to Jane? Because in that conversation, I only heard Jane apologize to Lucy. Like, and I was like, yeah, but like Lucy was really annoying in that fight as well and said some wrong
well,
shit. Like,
Lucy was annoying, but I always saw that Lucy was actually reacting to Jane. It's like if you shout at someone that keeps pushing you, are you wrong or is it just a reaction?
It's a reaction,
But are you
you
wrong?
see. It's not about being wrong, it's just that it's rude screaming at someone.
Yeah, but you
Like,
apologize. You apologize for, well,
uh,
if you are being rude, you're wrong. But
I
it's
also
like
think
it's a
that
reaction
I also think that it maybe not an apology per se, but also some sort of like acknowledgement
that she.
that this tension, that this fallout also happened because of both of them. It didn't happen because just one of them was wrong, you see. For all it matters, like if Lucy stayed stagnant like she was,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but
if she
that doesn't
wasn't really
give.
challenged, I mean,
Yeah, but that doesn't give like Jane the excuse to be pushing her all the time. It's
no,
like
of course not. No, it's
like
true. It doesn't give her.
a friend of mine
But
said something to me that was like really cool because it's something that sometimes we say stuff to ourselves, but we don't really do it or live accordingly. I was telling her like how all my last few months were and everything, blah, 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 and all these people coming up in my life and stuff and stuff and stuff. She holds my arm and she says like, it's not your job to save everyone.
yeah.
Which I know it's not, but I have this tendency of trying to fix everyone around me or trying to help everyone or trying to, but
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
you're a man. Of course, you have the tendency to fix everything.
thank you,
Like,
thank you. I'm very
you're welcome.
DIY.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're very handy man.
yeah,
Hmm.
but it's like, but this is very exhausting also. But and she
He
said
fixes
this,
your house and he fixes your life. I'm sorry, I just continue. Like
yeah,
I was thinking about it. He's a
yeah,
handyman. What's his
yeah,
slogan? He fixes your life and
yeah,
fixes your house.
yeah.
He fixes everything.
And she
Yeah.
actually, but this actually resonated like really deep because yeah, I understood that, and I had to realize that it's not my place to enter people's lives to save them,
No, it's
and
not. Yeah.
but this is what Jane does, and it's not Jane's place to be around Lucy and say like, "Oh, you eat always the same thing. Why don't you quit your job? Like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why?" Because people have their own time and they'll come to terms with it. And if they don't, they don't. It's their life. It's not our life.
It's true. Yeah.
And this is how I read Jane. And this is why in that scene I understand why Jane is saying I'm sorry. But Lucy, for me, Lucy doesn't have to say I'm sorry.
I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. What I have to say about it is, I think my opinion stems from the annoyance I have with the Lucy's character, the
Yeah.
annoyance I have with both personalities.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like transfer this need of, you have to apologize for being like, for having a very boring personality, for being a whiny person. Yeah. But of course, that's not correct of me. So,
You're not
yeah, in
friends
terms
with
of
whiny
plot,
persons.
I get it. She doesn't have to say sorry. She should say sorry to me for having to deal with this movie because it was boring. Yeah. I mean,
But
sorry.
still,
Like,
we had a great conversation about the film.
the end of the day, this movie also delves into the problem of identity, of queer identity, and we still have this issue of there being queer people and LGBTQ plus people being the target of a lot of prejudice
Yeah.
and violent attacks and whatnot. So it's still a very contemporary subject, and I do still think that these are important type of topics to be discussed or shown in movies. And I like the fact that we can, like, not just this big drama about gender identity or sexual identity, your sexuality, or how you are, it's like this big thing and big heavy thing,
Yeah.
and just be a more lighthearted comedy.
Yeah.
It's good that we can have these types of subjects being portrayed in different types of genres in different movies, like animation, romantic comedies, documentaries, whatnot. Like, it's important to be in every type of, because it also, especially in a comedy, it also like makes it more normalized, not such
Yeah.
a heavy and dramatic thing, you
Mhm.
know. Like, of course, we still have to talk about it and consider these types of subjects as something serious and worth of a more critical and serious discussion. Nonetheless, I think it also like it does it good if it also is portrayed in a more lighthearted way,
Yeah.
such as in a romantic comedy. You know, I feel like it helps normalize the discussion as well. In this case, the movie doesn't really add anything. It's just like a normal girl, normal white girl, privileged girl living in New York or whatever. I don't know where she
I
lives,
think
but
it's
she
Los
lives in a,
Angeles.
well, you see, she lives in one of the
I think it's
she
in
lives in a
LA.
yeah, she lives in a city where like the queer community is pretty prevalent. So it's not like she's from big Texas and is
Yeah.
like you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I
Like
know. Yeah.
it's okay. The whole context of the movie, it's not really challenging for the
Yeah.
subject. Nonetheless, it's a very common narrative, you know. There's not much to say about it, and that's why I don't really have much consideration for this movie. It doesn't add anything to my critical thinking. It's
Yeah.
just another movie. You see, like I don't know, if you want like big queer movies that are very much more deeper in still Hollywood the movies, you have like I don't know, Moonlight. You
Yeah,
have
Moonlight. Yeah.
you have a lot of productions that do this. Like I'm not mad and saying like we don't have enough representation of this subject in cinema, so like this movie sucks because it doesn't really develops into anything. We
Yeah.
still need it's okay if we have these types of movies. Like it's fine. We have space for everything.
Well, it's not the Boys Don't Cry, but still gets like 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is
Like you
actually
see,
a
it's
good
kind of
mark.
high for what it
Yeah.
was. Like I'm sorry. It gets like a 40 for me. Like what do you mean? 70. That's subscribe to our social media, which mainly is just Instagram. That's where we are the most
Yeah.
active. You can follow us. The link is going to be in the description. Okay. You can also send us email if you want to. That's commenting our episode, asking questions, whatever. And yeah, follow us on Spotify because now we are Spotify creators. So that's the main source where our episodes are published.
Yes.
And I guess that's it. Keep in touch. If you have any movie suggestions that you would like for us to talk about, you can also do that. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next episode. Bye.
Thank you and bye.